Ladies and gentlemen, Tommy Gilmore for the St Andrews Sporting Club and Barry Hearn for Matchroom Sport, sponsored by the Scottish News of the World. Big on Boxing, live and exclusive on Sky Sports. Friday Fight Night proudly present 12 3-minute rounds of boxing for the Welterweight Championship of Great Britain. The officials have been appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control. Shooting charge at ringside, Mr. Bernard Connolly. Timekeeper at the bell, James Kirkwood from Glasgow. The 3 scoring judges at ringside for this contest are Richie Davies from All Hallows, Kent, John Keane from Wellingborough, Victor Loughlin from Paisley. And finally, when the action commences, the star referee in charge of the action, Mr. Mickey Van from Leeds. And so, introducing to you firstly this evening, the challenger. Boxing out of the red corner, wearing the black coloured shorts trimmed with silver. At the weigh-in yesterday, he scaled on the championship limit of 10 stone, 7 pounds. He has an excellent record consisting of 29 contests, 24 wins. 8 of those wins coming by way of knockout, with only 5 defeats. Presenting from Paisley, Kevin McIntyre. And opposing him, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the white coloured shorts trimmed with red, green and gold. At the weigh-in yesterday, he scaled 10 stone, 6 pounds, 14 ounces. He also has an outstanding record consisting of 21 contests, 20 wins. 12 of those wins coming by way of knockout, with only the 1 defeat. He comes to the ring this evening as the former welterweight champion of the Commonwealth. Tonight, he makes the 3rd defense of his present crown. Presenting from Medal 5, the current and reigning welterweight champion of Great Britain, Kevin Anderson. The referee, Mr. Mickey Van, will now give his final instructions to both boxers. 12 3-minute rounds.
Good atmosphere here. Plenty of fans from both sides.
Okay, fellas, you both had your instructions in the dressing room. You obey my commands at all times, right? No notice with the head. Shake hands, paddy corners. Good luck.
Fights Kevin Anderson, who makes his 3rd defence of the British 10 stone 7 belt. He grabbed in that cracker against young Muttley. He's outboxed Eamon McGee, outlasted Francis Jones just 7 weeks ago. Now he meets his former sparring partner, Kevin McIntyre from Paisley. They know each other well. What happens when they meet for real? Big favourite, Anderson with the bookies. But McIntyre believes an upset is on the cards. It's all about the first 2 or 3 rounds, Glenn, here.
Yeah, I think McIntyre has to try and have a good start. He's got to get himself in this fight right from the off. Try and push Anderson back a little bit if he can. Anderson has been fighting very well as of late. Eamon McGee, a good win, and Francis Jones, a very good fight, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was an immense effort from Francis Jones, but Kevin Anderson showed a cool head that night. He came through some rough patches to grind out a 12th round stoppage win. And he looks to apply punches and pressure on Kevin McIntyre, who's had 5 defeats, and every one of those he's been stopped in. But down goes Anderson in the first round, and his legs have gone. It was a short right counter from McIntyre. And how about that? First minute. Well, that wasn't in the script, and Anderson has to get himself going. What a start for Kevin McIntyre.
Another big right hand. He's hurt again. Anderson, great start.
Anderson in some trouble in this opening session. And Kevin McIntyre has only stopped 8 people in his life. And Anderson has not shaken off the effects of that yet. It was a beautiful shot, Glenn.
Well, he couldn't ask for no more confidence than this. He's hurt again. Anderson, he's just not with it tonight. Needs to get his punches off.
Came back with the right hand, and McIntyre had to take that. Good southpaw jab though. Terrific start this from the challenger, the 29-year-old Kevin McIntyre.
Well, it's the right hook that's done the damage so far. He needs to let that shot go. Wait for the jab from Anderson and then come back with a countering right hook.
Still his right leg looks wobbly, Anderson. Left, beautiful punches from McIntyre. Solid, and he shoves Anderson back to show his physical being. He's had a mental going over with the hypnotist, and he obviously believes he can do this job.
Well, I think the hypnotist added to his punch power. Never mind his mental strength.
Back comes Anderson with those hooks. But again, McIntyre shoves off the champion. Right hand punches through the middle. And he's exposing the lack of head movement in Kevin Anderson. Static.
Well, he really is walking through the clouds here, isn't he, Anderson?
Needs the break. Needs the rest.
Get the head moving, right?
What a disastrous start for Anderson. Have a look at this.
There it is, that quick countering right hook. Just as he comes forward, he maximizes the power by walking into it, Anderson. But he really caught him with an exceptional punch. And nobody expected that. In trouble again. He's just trying to cover up. Natural instincts to survive here, but the left hand was down even there.
Kevin McIntyre was 80-1 to win in that first round.
Right hand straight through the middle. Give a gum shield. Gum shield.
Has a minute been long enough? Disorganized in that corner, Kevin Anderson. Mickey Van calls a timeout. The gum shield is being put into Anderson, but he got a few more vital seconds there. What about that, Glenn?
Yeah, he needed that time. I think they lost the gum shield mysteriously, didn't they? But a pretty apt time.
Was that an old trick from the corner? Has the head cleared and the leg stable of Anderson, who's had a terrible start here against Kevin McIntyre, who's using that southpaw style and the accuracy, really. Coming off a win over Tony Doherty. And he's not performed on the British title stage yet.
Well, Anderson's gone through crises before. He did against young Motley and came back to win. So he knows what it's all about. He can stay calm in this situation.
Absolutely. He had to dig really deep against young Motley. Floored heavily in the second round. And admits that much of the first half of that fight was a blur, but he did come back to turn it round in the 10th. Domestic fight of the year last year. And here he comes in the second round. This could be very good, Glenn.
Yep, certainly very exciting so far. McIntyre's got to use that jab, just try and draw the lead of Anderson and then whip in that right hook again.
Anderson certainly unsettled by the start of McIntyre, but he's got to keep it going. There's been criticism that McIntyre can fall apart too easily. Needs to sustain this beginning.
It's important for McIntyre to keep that jab out. Don't let Anderson get set.
Uppercut, sweet shot from McIntyre, who feels over the rounds of sparring that he can do it in the ring for real. And he's catching Anderson. Wonderful work from McIntyre here in the second round.
Well, Anderson can't do anything defensively. The legs have gone a little bit again.
Down again, touch with the glove. Mickey Van applies the count, second time in the fight. And the McIntyre fans are raising the roof off the Magnum Centre. They're trying to tell McIntyre to keep his head in the red corner. But what a start.
He's really getting a lot of power into these punches, planting his feet. McIntyre. It's a very different performance from him, isn't it?
He's so fired up and really flowing. But Anderson piling back with that left hook. Very interesting.
Right, all right. Keep hold of it. Keep that head moving. You're listening. Don't take them shots. You've got to keep your head moving all the time. Get low. Right, you listening? Come on, wake up now.
That's a big problem. He's so static, isn't he?
Yeah, never really moved the head. He seems to be in a bit of a fog, even still. You know, it really hurt him early in the fight, that big right hand. And he's not thinking, you know, he's not trying anything different.
And it was a temple shot as well, and that can't be nice for Anderson's balance.
No, just reaches forward with a jab, and then again it's that quick little right hand counter that he's working so well.
All right, come to. Let's concentrate now.
Colin Belshaw.
Seconds out, round 3.
Just telling Kevin McIntyre to concentrate. Can he make it his 25th victory? And what will be an unbelievable moment, really, for Kevin McIntyre after all he's been through. But Kevin Anderson has proven time and again is bottle and metal in this sport. McIntyre is absolutely flying here, though, Glenn.
Yeah, having really good success with these hooks round the side. And he's just got to keep using the jab and then keep bringing them hooks in. He's unable to move his head. Anderson, for some reason, the defense very poor.
Bob Shannons was telling us earlier that Anderson struggles in sparring, and maybe that's why McIntyre beat him, but maybe the pacey southpaw feels he has Anderson's number. Damage on the nose to McIntyre, right hand from Anderson. He's got a little mark under his right eye. It's all happening in there in this British title clash.
He's certainly fighting with a great deal of belief, though, isn't he, McIntyre? You know, he's trying to draw Anderson on to the counter punch, and when he does the heavy shots.
Digs one into the body as well, McIntyre. Maybe these hypnotists do work. Steve Collins certainly found a performance, didn't he, against Chris Eubank? Spooked the former world champion that night they met in Ireland. Anderson calls it a load of rubbish. Right to the body.
Starting to get a bit of momentum now. Anderson's starting to let the shots go a little bit. It was a good long right hand.
Just twitches that right foot again, Kevin Anderson. So physically strong. Big shoulders and compact. Blood to the nose of McIntyre. He's going to have to suck it up if it goes later on, isn't he, Glenn?
Yeah, that's the problem. He just punches himself out a little bit, trying very hard early on. Looking to get a lot into the shots that he throws.
2 knockdowns, though, in the first 2 rounds. I think probably surprised even Kevin McIntyre. Not had a stoppage win since March 2003. Just finding his feet a bit more now, Anderson.
Still has to take a right hand, but he's getting stronger, getting into a little bit more of a flow now, Anderson.
Right hand from McIntyre. It's becoming grueling. It's becoming tough early. Better from the British champion. Well, Glenn, plenty of people raised their eyebrows at this match. I thought Kevin McIntyre wasn't up to the job. How wrong after what's happened so far?
No, well, he's coming off a good win against Tony Doherty. That's obviously given him a lot of confidence. But, you know, he's got there. It's a big night. It's a British title fight. The Lonsdale belt. We know how much people try to win this belt.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of that recently with Dave Stewart's Everton and Francis Jones. That was only 7 weeks ago that Kevin Anderson had that really hard encounter. Is it a bit too soon for him to be coming back?
Well, it shouldn't be, really. You know, fighters need to fight a bit more often these days. He's trying to do that. He should still be fresh, and you know, fitness should be good.
Yeah, certainly down in Manchester, where he's all but relocated Kevin Anderson to be with Bob Shannon, sparring with David Barnes for the Southpaw work. Barnes, of course, who beat Kevin McIntyre in 8 rounds a few years back. There's the body shots. He's flowing here, Kevin McIntyre, and he's backing Anderson up at times too.
Yeah, that's what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and throw more shots than Anderson. He's got to keep them combinations coming in. See, Anderson just puts the gloves up, doesn't do anything back, and he really needs to start letting shots go, Anderson.
Walks into one, but he will just want to chip away, Kevin Anderson. Only ever been beaten once before, and he felt controversially by his now stablemate, Ali Numbembe.
There goes that right hook again. Landing as Anderson comes forward.
Just unsteady there, Kevin Anderson. Certainly not comfortable at home in this Irvine ring. Fighting away from Kirkcaldy.
It looks just a lack of sharpness, doesn't it, with Anderson? You know, he looks heavy-legged, and you know, he's just walking forward. Doesn't seem that snap seems missing.
He's had a difficult year, Kevin Anderson. Nods respect there at Kevin McIntyre. Forcing himself forward, Anderson. Not as compact and organised as McIntyre.
Nice jab from Anderson, but he hasn't done a great deal in this round, Anderson. Just plodded forward.
McIntyre targeting the body, trying to finish the round strongly.
More really good British title action on our next Friday fight night. Carl Froch defends his British super middleweight title against Robin Reid. That's next Friday, 10 o'clock, Sky Sports 1.
Will we get another good one in Nottingham? This, better than we all expected.
Most certainly is. Very, very good fight. And he's got a lot to do. Kevin Anderson, the champion.
Yeah, 10-8 rounds, first two knockdowns from Kevin McIntyre, who's also taken this challenge at fairly short notice.
Just pulling away a little bit, isn't he? McIntyre, 39-35 on my card. Obviously, 2 big rounds, the first 2 with the knockdowns.
And with McIntyre, it's about keeping this up, keeping himself together, psychologically and physically. And Anderson's just got to get through. I'm not entirely sure, Glenn, he's totally recovered from that first knockdown in the first round.
No, he's still, there's no sharpness there, still seems heavy-legged and in a bit of a fog. The snap, the sharpness isn't there. But it's a great start from McIntyre. He's got to keep being the boss. He's got to keep that jab going out, them sharp, countering right and left hooks.
There's a worried look on the face of Tommy Gilmore, manager and promoter of Kevin Anderson, who believed this would be over quick inside 2 or 3 rounds in his man's favour. You never know in boxing. And as you said before, it's amazing what a Lonsdale belt being at stake can do.
Yeah, we've seen these British title fights time and time again. They will give everything they've got for the title.
And he knows probably, Kevin McIntyre, this is his last chance at 29. Left through the guard. Really stable on his feet tonight, Kevin Anderson. Picked off with the right there. Balance not good. Again, McIntyre squeezing these shots through and finding the defense leaky of the champion. Best we've ever seen Kevin McIntyre, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. The postman's delivering a few surprises in there, isn't he?
Along in his tiny flat in Paisley, fighting part-time, trying to help his family. Blown away by Nigel Wright. Suffered defeats to others, but he's kept his nerve, his resolve. And if he can keep this going, he could become a British champion at last. Well, is this the man responsible for Kevin McIntyre's performance? Dr. Alan Curley, the hypnotist, who has been putting Kevin McIntyre under and telling him he can walk through punches. Does it work, Glenn?
Well, certainly whatever he's done is working at the moment, isn't it? He's given him strength of mind. You know, I do believe that you train your body, you've got to train your mind as well. There's a lot about sports psychology that I think people should go into.
I think Frank Bruno had a hypnotist before he fought Mike Tyson for the first time, and Richard Dunn before he fought Muhammad Ali. Both were destroyed in 5 rounds. Maybe for McIntyre, it's a different story, or maybe it's Kevin Anderson under par.
Well, it does work. I've used it myself. I've been in my career, it helped me an awful lot, so I know it does work, and he's beginning to believe in himself more and more, and that's what he's trying to do.
There's a fluency with Kevin McIntyre, bouncing on his feet. He did well against David Barnes early on, but then came apart and crumbled. Gary Reed stopped him in 6, his career going nowhere, but all of a sudden he comes out with this sort of performance. And Kevin Anderson must be a mile behind on the judges' cards.
Well, at the minute, there's a lot of belief in the mind of Kevin McIntyre. It's down to Anderson to start chipping away at that. He's got to try and bring in some doubt. And then the demons will start to come back. But that might be easier said than done, the way he's performing at the moment, McIntyre.
Left to the body. Those shots have been good tonight from McIntyre, but none as fine as the right hand that floored Anderson in that first.
One of the things to notice is he looks the stronger. When they come close like that, it's normally McIntyre that pushes free. You know, he pushes him back again in there, and I think that's telling. I think he's got the physical strength.
Yeah, he's backing him up, Kevin McIntyre. Looks like he's just wading forward, Kevin Anderson. Picked off, and he's getting agitated with himself. Is the title slipping away? You can't count him out, Glenn, because of what happened against young Muttley, but it is one-sided.
No, he's very spirited, Anderson. He'll try, as long as there's anything left in him, any strength at all, he's going to have to punch out of Kevin Anderson.
Doesn't look like his night at the moment. Kevin McIntyre back holding the middle of the ring. And this is another bad spell for Kevin Anderson. 20 seconds left in the 6. Being caught too often.
The legs,
Easy, they're shouting, Glenn, the McIntyre fans.
Well, he's doing so well as he's getting off for those big hooks. The legs of Anderson look wooden, don't they? So heavy.
Yeah, leaden, really, Kevin Anderson. Bob Shannon in Kevin Anderson's corner is telling his man he's going to pull him out. If he doesn't improve, he won't let him take many more of these. He might not have won a round here. Almost double-landed for McIntyre. And the success rate is phenomenal, really, for a man who's been beaten 5 times and written off before, Kevin McIntyre. A huge underdog to take this title, and Kevin Anderson is in serious danger of losing it. And it's the Lonsdale belt outright, remember, if Anderson can salvage this.
Well, Bob Shannon will mean that threat as well. You know, he'll not see Anderson take a lot of punishment. If he can't get out of the way of punches, you know, he keeps getting hit, you know, it's going to do him no good. Bob Shannon will pull him out.
It's close to his fighters, Bob Shannon, especially Wayne Rigby. All those years ago, doesn't like to see his men get hurt. Good guy in the trade. And if it's not your night, it's not your night. And it doesn't look like being Kevin Anderson's.
Well, he seems to run out of ideas, Anderson. He doesn't know what to do. He's walking forward. He's walking on that jab, and then he just comes back with a quick counters, McIntyre.
And we didn't think the southpaw stance would be a problem, because he's of course beaten Eamon McGee and Joshua O'Kine to win the Commonwealth belt. Top quality southpaws those, but McIntyre, oh, he's just been outstanding.
Well, we know he's got the strength, and we know he's got the punch power to hurt Anderson now. He's got to really try and use that to push Anderson on the back foot. I don't think he really fights that well on the back foot, and that's where he could come apart. Another big right hand, the legs quivered again.
Left to the body too, and again from Kevin McIntyre. Finding Anderson an easy target. It's a boxing lesson from Kevin McIntyre. Can Kevin Anderson do anything? Bob Shannon having a word with Benny King in the corner.
Yep, he looks very tired, very worn. There's nothing there, there's no spark. And at this moment, McIntyre looks on his way to becoming champion.
I'm not sure I found any critic beforehand who felt Kevin McIntyre was going to win this fight. He's made a mockery of it. Tries to get the jab going, Anderson. Nothing working though for him.
No, he looks tired and heavy, and his big breaths going in as he just plods forward.
Another round to Kevin McIntyre.
Getting that jab off, wasn't it? Getting that jab, beautiful. Hey, beautiful, getting that jab off.
Hey, listen, bang bang double jab, right hand on this fucker, come on.
Excuse the language in the corner.
Go on, Kevin.
Emotions running high. Bob Shannon.
You okay? Yeah. Right. Work the jab. It works every time for you. Work that jab and go across to your left and get that right hand with. But work the jab first. Don't go in straight lines. Zigzag. Are you okay? Your head clear now? Number 8 coming up now. Right, number 8 now. You've got to turn this around. You've got to turn around. You're not going to win on points, Kevin. You're too far behind. You're far too behind.
Well, no talk of pulling him out, but they know he needs a knockout.
Yeah, I think they're trying a different tactic there. They were just trying to sweeten him a little bit, you know, rather than having to go at him, just to see if they can pull something else out of him.
Seconds out, round 8.
But it's still the big right hands from McIntyre that are doing the damage.
Lethargic, tired. Just shakes his head there, Kevin Anderson. Can he come up with the equaliser? Did against young Muttley. I don't remember that fight being quite as one-sided as this.
69-62, he's a long way behind on my card. Awful lot to do.
12 knockouts in 20 wins. And how he needs one now, and we're only in the 8th. Remember, down twice. Once in the first, once in the second, and he's been outboxed and manhandled as well by Kevin McIntyre.
Yep, I think the physical strength of McIntyre has surprised me. I didn't think he'd be pushing Anderson about.
Very good answer, Kevin McIntyre. Fought in the European Championships, represented his country plenty of times. There one gets in from Kevin Anderson, who's the hardened pro. Can he come up with the impossible here?
A little sharper there, Anderson, as he leaped in.
It's the round of Kevin McIntyre's first British title challenge. Failed in December 2003 on a big Ricky Hatton bill in Manchester. This all so different.
McIntyre doing the right thing as they get close. He's just tying Anderson up again. He gets through with that little counter.
Falls back there, Anderson. The spring in the step for McIntyre. He's used his legs well tonight. Makes Anderson miss again and again.
He's getting his jab up a little bit more. Anderson, maybe the head finally clearing a little bit.
So much to do, though. And on the flip side, tough for Kevin McIntyre as well, who must know he's so far ahead on points, but he's got to see it home. Championship rounds coming up, and they're the tough ones.
Evans is saying to take a point off, he continues to hold. Maybe he's starting to tire a little bit, McIntyre.
It's not really about points, though, anymore. Kevin Anderson needs knockdowns fast.
McIntyre not doing as much, and Anderson might have just shaded that one.
Moving lovely, Kevin. Absolutely lovely. So it's on the back, a lot of work. You've got to get stronger from here on in. All right? Aye. On the toes, think sharp, you want it sharp. All right?
Aye.
Most person can beat Kevin McIntyre, and it's Kevin McIntyre. You've got to concentrate for every second, every round. Okay? Aye. You stand and stay out of the ring, try and stay right.
Finish sharp, concentrate every second. Good advice from Colin Belshaw. And the statistics, they don't lie. That total.
You've got to fight your heart out. You listening?
Bob Shannons saying you've got to fight your heart out to Kevin Anderson. He knows that, Glenn.
Nice and tight. Don't get fucking over.
10 seconds.
Yep, he's going to have to bring out something pretty special now.
Seconds out, round 9.
Well, Kevin Anderson's already had 3 12-round fights this year. Yes, Francis Jones was stopped in the last round of their battle in September. But he had to go the distance with Ali Mbembe and Eamon McGee. On one side of it, he knows the 12-round distance. On the other, he's had a hard 2007.
But he might have just made a mistake and just thought, like everybody else, that this was going to be an easy fight. He came in casual, he paid the penalty, and a great start.
Touches on the show.
His left hand from McIntyre.
Lost 2 of his last 4, Kevin McIntyre, and he's putting up this sort of challenge. Lovely jab.
Yep, that's good. That's what he needs at this stage. Just use that jab. Just keep Anderson off balance. Don't let him get set. And
He's been able to do what Francis Jones couldn't really do to Kevin Anderson, hurt him.
Yep, he showed the power, got his respect. He's never quite recovered, Anderson. But now it's decent boxing from McIntyre. Needs to do that, needs to just move around, keep using that jab.
Got largely on the back foot, but there he puts the combination together. Applause from the corner. Kevin Anderson shakes his right hand, looks at Mickey Van, as if to say, what can I do now?
Yep, that was a nice combination. He needed to pull something like that out just to keep winning these rounds. McIntyre
has to get the jab going. Anderson. Just being desperate.
Two good shots.
Time out for Mickey Van. Just tidying it up, is he?
Yeah, just sometimes gets a little bit messy, but it's bound to. They're both very tired. McIntyre again shows his physical strength, doesn't he?
The way he delivers that jab. He took this at the last minute, McIntyre was. Had to fight Mark Thompson last week in an eliminator, but he grabbed his chance and he's fit enough, it looks like.
Got that round, come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on, Kevin, how are you feeling now? Come on, how are you feeling? Come on, come on, how are you feeling? You got, come on, 10 rounds now, number 10 coming up now. 10.
Come on, Kevin, you can't afford to
That's all you got, 3 rounds. Come on.
Let's see some speed now. Come on.
Come on.
We need some magic.
Come on.
Pull the magic in the bag, sir.
Both fighters, I'm going to start taking points off.
Warning that points will come off from Mickey Van. That's all that Kevin Anderson needs. Head very low there, Glenn. What's the body language tell you?
Well, in his mind, he looks a little bit like a defeated fighter, doesn't he? Carrying his head down.
Don't need 10 seconds. Right, get that jab.
He needs to start to sharpen up. Needs something big.
Well, he found it in this round against young Mutley in the summer of last year in their corker in Birmingham. Mutley was on course to win that double title clash. It's a really good win from Kevin Anderson. Is he capable of anything like that? Or is Kevin McIntyre just too good tonight?
The problem he's got, Anderson, is he hasn't got the sharpness in his punches that you'd think would be able to hurt McIntyre. You know, he looks very tired, very jaded.
A weary warrior, still determined, still trying to get the punches together, getting agitated and annoyed with himself, Kevin Anderson. There's a right hand. That got through. Tommy Gilmore on his feet. Needs more of that.
The concentration looks good from McIntyre. Hands are up. He moves around. Just good defense.
Body shot. Gum shield comes out. Kevin Anderson's. Of course, nothing's gone right for him. And Kevin McIntyre just looks in his corner, just telling him to keep his composure. That jab. Sugar sweet tonight from McIntyre. Accuracy has been excellent.
Yeah, really has.
Come on, McIntyre.
And then he's caging up to get close in and not allow Anderson to work in close.
Beforehand, Kevin Anderson was talking about European title challenges. Maybe he felt he'd just be carrying that British belt home. No worries tonight. back to Buckhaven in Fife. A rude awakening. Still, Kevin McIntyre concentrates.
Again, it's him that gets the success in that exchange. Moving, not allowing a target for Anderson. And then taking up the punches as Anderson comes forward. Nice jabs.
Yeah, before the fight, Anderson, 57% knockout ratio. McIntyre, 27. But he's looked the heavier hitter, Kevin McIntyre. Is that self-belief? Is that confidence?
I think it is. I think, you know, he thought he had a good chance against Anderson. You know, maybe in the sparring he's done well and he's just got strength from that.
Anderson wobbles back to the blue corner. That jab, southpaw, picked well tonight from Kevin McIntyre. Outreached Anderson. He's outboxed him and at times outfought him.
Yeah, he's just been flat-footed, very heavy-legged. Anderson just plodding forward. That's given McIntyre the room to use that jab, then use the counter-punching on the way in. And he's adopted a good defense this evening.
That's what it's all about. Kevin Anderson might want it for keeps, but Kevin McIntyre wants it for the first time. Such a prestigious bout.
Your right hand on the body, switch it to the head, right?
Well, the judges at ringside, Richie Davis, John Keane and Victor Lachlan. We were joking with Richie Davis earlier, saying we didn't think the judges would be needed tonight. Looks like they're going to be. They must have Kevin McIntyre a street ahead.
Yeah, I think you've got to have. He's boxing so well. Excellent performance. Again, the jab. Sharply pushed out into the face of Kevin Anderson.
Anderson, who's trained for 12-round fights 6 times before, he's completed them on 3 occasions. And this is the furthest that Kevin McIntyre has been. He did 10 with Tony Doherty. This uncharted territory, on the surface of it, doesn't look a problem. Dr. Alan Curley and Colin Belshaw have done their work.
Yeah, they really have. They've had a game plan. They started first. That was so important to get that good start, and they got that, and they never looked back.
Step back.
Kevin Anderson straight past Joshua Okai, lost on a close one to Ali Mbembe. Easily beat Eamon McGee, but no one has done this to him.
And I must say, Adam, from the first round, he's never looked the same Kevin Anderson.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether he fully recovered from that right hand in the first. It's probably everything taking its toll, though, the hard fights over the year and the positive performance from McIntyre.
Well, he looked on the verge of a knockout victory in the first round, McIntyre. Anderson's still here. He's tough, resilient, keep going to the end.
Oh, yeah, huge will, Kevin Anderson. His little boy, Sonny, called after Sonny Liston. His partner, Nancy, has got a second on the way. And is it going to be a belt-free Christmas for Kevin Anderson? Just over 30 left in the 11th. He's running out of time.
Well, he's just used defense in this round, McIntyre.
Oh, right hand! Cracking shot from McIntyre. Late on in the 11th. And that really shook Anderson.
Well, he hadn't done a lot, then come out with a beautiful combination. He looks hurt, Anderson.
Another right hand. Not long left in the around. McIntyre raises his arms aloft. Beautiful.
Kevin, you're not going to win this fight now.
Break him, Kev!
Kevin, you're not going to win this fight.
Stop this guy now! Come on, Kev!
Kevin, you're not going to win this fight.
I'll give him my best shot. Give it your best shot this round.
Bob Shannons saying you're not going to win this fight. But they'll give him the last round, won't they?
Well, I think he was tempted not to there. Look at the punches. You know, he knows he hasn't got in him, and Bob Shannon, I think, was really thinking about not letting him come out.
Last round. Yeah. Do not stop punching.
Kevin, you ready for this last round? Listen, look at me. Look at me. You ready? You sure? You're going to kick out?
Let's go!
What a year he's had, Kevin Anderson. He almost retired before he fought Eamon McGee, put the career best performance on. Wanted to defend it successfully 3 times, but it has been really a one-sided hammering, and Kevin McIntyre's intent on finishing the job. Will there be late drama to this very intriguing British welterweight title fight?
Well, all through this fight, he hasn't shown that he's got the spark, that he's got the will to pull it out the bag now, Anderson. So I'm not sure he can do it now. The strength seems to have gone. It was a good finish to the round from McIntyre. Now he's starting to unload.
Body shots. What self-belief from Kevin McIntyre. Looks at his corner. He's executed the plan absolutely perfectly. And he's done something that few of us thought was possible.
Well, it looks like it's his glory night. Kevin McIntyre has put on a fantastic performance.
Again, Anderson lacking ideas. Only 24, but a hard 2 or 3 years that Anderson's had. Not going to prove his heart at all. He's tried to stick with the task, but it's been an uphill battle since that right hand landed in round 1.
Yeah, it really is, and I think he maybe just mentally took this fight a little bit lightly. He came in just too relaxed and paid a big penalty.
Glenn, who would have thought that Kevin McIntyre would win the mental battle?
No, you certainly wouldn't. He's lost 5. He's been stopped in all 5, McIntyre. You wouldn't have thought he'd be here in the last round. Never mind a big winner.
50 seconds to go. No signs of anything changing. He's tried Kevin Anderson. He wants so much to retain his title. It's not going to happen unless he finds one massive punch now.
But he looks in control. McIntyre knows what he's got to do. The hands are up. He's moving. He's not letting Anderson get set. He's not allowing to get any power into his punches.
An exquisite performance from Kevin McIntyre, who celebrates 9 years as a pro next week. And in 30 fights, he has never come up with anything like this until tonight. It matters, and he will become the British welterweight champion, and Kevin Anderson knows it. What a wonderful display of boxing from a huge underdog, and the fans are delighted. Even Tommy Gilmore, the manager of Kevin Anderson, offers his congratulations. It's not official, but we all know.
Yeah, certainly Kevin Anderson knows. Kevin McIntyre, he is very, very happy man, and so he should be.
You see that Anderson threw more, but the accuracy and that wonderful success rate as well, almost 40% for Kevin McIntyre. Well, he's never done it before. Extraordinary. And he came out, we thought Anderson would be the aggressor, and that punch
Yeah, that turned the fight around very early. From then on, what you need to do, you need to be boss early. He became boss, then he controlled the fight. Hurd and Anderson again and on the floor in the second round. He was in charge now, he was the boss. Anderson walking through the mud, his head in the clouds as McIntyre just carried on with his good skills behind the jab, good counters, doing everything right.
Credit to Anderson for sticking with him when it wasn't going well at all. Well, but McIntyre, too much at all times.
Even had enough to win a good last round, good boxing, and straight away he knew McIntyre has beaten him.
Big smile on the face of Barry Hughes, his promoter. There's Clem's card. We'll hear from Richie Davis, John Keane, Victor Loughlin. There'll be a new champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the judges' scorecards. Judge Richie Davis scores the contest 120 to 107. Judge John Keane scores the contest 119 to 108. And Judge Victor Loughlin scores the contest 118 to 110. All three judges in favor of the winner by way of unanimous decision. And new welterweight champion of Great Britain from Paisley, Kevin McIntyre.
A career best performance from the Paisley postman.